Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures. So today it's Sunday and this means it's going to be this week in action figure news. So I'm going to try something a little bit new, so here are the headlines of what's coming up. So SHfigurearts has some new stuff I'm going to be talking about. Then we have Hot Toys who posted us some Spiderman, some 212, different 212s. Then afterwards we will jump quickly to Super 7 and we're going to also talk about Hiya Toys with the Halle and I will be also talking about Tron at the end of this video. So without further ado, let's jump into figure art, also let's call it SHfigurearts. Now, I haven't talked much about them. These popped up on my feed on my Facebook group page, and I really do dig them. I like the fact of getting the Clone Wars characters. I think they seem to be a little bit better, especially Ahsoka seems a little bit better than the one that Sideshow did in 12-inch. I didn't pick her up. I was not really convinced. I had the impression she had a very bigger head than the original version that should have been, or the one in the cartoon. I didn't pick up these guys. I don't want to pay $280 for figures that don't have working lightsabers, but if these are not too expensive, I will definitely pick these guys up because I'm a huge fan of the Clone Wars. So here we have a closer look at Anakin. I think they did a pretty good job. Again, this is going to be a 6-inch figure, so I have less quarrels with it, if we could say it like that. And having less maybe details, lightsabers and this kind of stuff, they might get a pass. Again, this will depend on how much they go for it, but I really do love the looks of these guys and I think they are pretty cool. So here's Ahsoka Tano, and you can see the head does not look so disproportionate compared to the one that was done by Sideshow. Now, let's continue with the news. So now let's talk about Hot Toys. I wanted to go into a different route, so I did my thoughts about both the Spider-Man and the 212 figures. Of course, as you can see, there's some neat details over here, but I do think for $225 or $270 for the other one, and what you get over here, even if you get some binoculars, does not make much sense that you would have a regular clone trooper walking around with it. And if you're going to army build, this is definitely not an accessory that you have. These either could have been spared or given with the exclusive, and they should have given us the regular helmet. I do think that Sideshow, when they did their clone troopers, I did the reviews of these guys, I have some more popping up, are way superior than the Hot Toys and came out a long time ago. Here comes the same problem with the deluxe, who's $270, and if you really think about it, $270 for one extra helmet, one extra headpiece for the Phase 2 helmet, a Gatling gun, and a bazooka mortar, don't really think it's worth $45 extra. And again, this is supposed to be army building. The Gatling gun does pose a problem. I have a boatload of those guys. I don't know what to do with it, and I can understand it would have been interesting to get as an accessory, but if it's shown in like they did at Sideshow with the backpacks, same thing. You're not going to equip every guy with backpacks, but the mortar to fix it to back, and the mortar itself, well, that does not make sense. And again, the binoculars, I understand that they put them with the first one, does not make sense at all, and I do think this is definitely not an army builder due to the limitations with this kind of accessory, or you're going to have a boatload of these guys who are going to end up on eBay and nobody will want to buy them or buy one if they have the regular clone trooper. Now, going into Spider-Man, so like I said, I did it. This is something that should speak to me because I grew up in those times, and these two figures really do not speak to me at all. So, let's talk about Super 7. So, of course, Super 7 has finally released the 4 new figures for the Super 7 Reaction Plus line. So, of course, we have Cobra Commander, who seems to be mostly reused of the old Cobra Commander. Same goes for Snake Eyes. This character, I don't really know if Mara has some used parts, but I will not put it past them. Then over here we have a Scarlet winter version of it. So yeah, it's a bit interesting. There's some ideas are behind it, but not $25 a figure. And like I said, there's pretty low equipment with it, so I don't know. I'm really not digging it. And like I said, way too many repaints. So here we're going to have a closer look at Cobra Commander himself. So yeah, as you can see, yeah, roughly what they already came out with. Over here I do have a stick, and due to the fact that depending what kind of plastic they're going to use, you will not want to slide that in too much if you don't want to crack their hands. Now here we have Mara. Again, one-time character. I understand that what they're trying to do with it, but yeah. And technically, if this would be a scaphandre that goes on her, the glass should be slightly blue due to the fact that she cannot breathe outside of water. For the people who remember that episode with Shipwreck, kind of love for this kind of siren. Then afterwards we have, of course, Scarlet, who's an interesting ad. Now I guess this could be speaking to Hasbro with the release of the Haslab Snowcat. Maybe it would be not too bad to have a version of her. Maybe with the possibility to have two different head sculpts, so we don't have to have the her all covered up. I understand this is a 3¾ inch figure, and it's an interesting release, but would have purchases growing up, I don't think this figure would have gone for it. Then we have radioactive Snake Eyes. So of course the gun is kind of pretty white. I saw some pictures and some videos of this, and this is way too big compared to the figure. And then the canister, well, I understand why for they want in this way, because there's a little special effect with this figure. He glows red. So it is a nice feature on it, but again, the figure should be glowing all red. And there should be some hand glowing also, like you can see on the classified version of Snake Eyes. They did like this, and the boot should have a bit of glowing around. But yeah, maybe there was a way to apply some paint around the feet and around the hands. So yeah, not really digging it. I like the ideas. Again, Super 7 have some great ideas behind the figures, but they're too expensive. The quality is not there. And again, the prices are way too high for what it is. Now, of course, we are able to have a look at everything that came out. So, like I was saying, you can see Cobra Commander here, Cobra Commander here. So those are all the same. Then there was the Snake Eyes over here. That surprisingly, they only did this guy once. Now doing a Snake Eyes like that. So yeah, maybe, oh yeah, the Serpentos, there's some missing here because there's 3 different versions of the Serpentos. Also, there's different Dukes that are not all on here either. So yeah, there's a few figures missing, and like I said, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of reused parts between them, and this is something who is hugely disappointing. Now jumping into Hiya Toys. So Hiya Toys is launching a pretty cool version, and I do have some problems with this. I did not do my thought video on it, nor that I did for the Super 7. Like I said, this popped up in my feed. I put it on Facebook, and there's a few little issues that I have with this figure. There's some good ideas and some bad ideas behind it. Now, of course, over here we can see the figure, but what is disturbing me is the helmet over here with this kind of Batman look to it. Then there's over here, I hope I have a better picture to show it. Sadly no, but here you can see how far these go. Really not digging this at all, and I do like that there's a Cobra logo over here. The rifle themselves are not the greatest either, because I guess this is what originally should have came out with the ones that Hasbro did. Whoops, sorry. So I don't have it. But over here, I like the idea of having one shoulder cover with a snake head. This is something that I find pretty interesting. And yeah, I do dig this a lot, the idea behind it. But as you can see, all of this should have been what we got with the G.I. Joe classified version that came out. And I guess with all the pushback that they had and they wanted to go to a more basic design, I guess this is what we should have got. Like I said, some good ideas, some other stuff. And this is also going for about $27-30, depending with the tariffs and without the tariffs. So I mean, when I'm looking at this, for $2 more, I can get this instead of a horrible figure from our friends at Super 7, who I guess are not going to be much my friends by the way I'm speaking about it. So let's go to the last part of this video. And for the last part of the video, we're going to be talking about Haslab's disaster, who is going to be the Tron 3/4 inch line stuff, so not very good for a new launch. This is what I already said. Again, I did a full video about it, and again, this is something who's pretty bad. I mean, there needs 10,000, the 1,274 backers, and we have 1 day and 18 hours to go. So yeah, this is definitely not going to fund. I don't see how they're going to get nearly 9,000 people to buy this crap. I mean, this is such a disappointment and such poorly done by Hasbro. Again, Hasbro have no clue what they're doing. They're trying, I have the impression, sorry for the language, they're throwing shit to the wall and see what sticks. So yeah, this is definitely going to be the biggest Haslab failure. Even worse than the Wanko or the Weaver lightsaber that they did. So yeah, definitely a huge fail for this set. I'm sorry for the people who wanted this set, but I don't think that Hasbro went the right way about it. So that's going to be it for this week in Action Figure News episode 21. Let's start a conversation. Tell me if you agree with any of the comments I did over there, and do you have wanting to pick this up or any of the other sets? Do you agree with me? Let's start a conversation around it. Also, go and check out my Facebook group page and also my Instagram. There's plenty of news, pictures that I don't always do some quick videos about, so you can go and check it over there. If there's not much worthy of a video, you can go and find it over there. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share, comment in the section. Like I said, this is very important for the algorithm of YouTube, so please do it. It does help out a lot the channel. If you are watching this on Sunday, I hope you have a fantastic Sunday and a great start of Monday. If you're watching that on another day of the week, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!